welcome, my friends. I am Lady Calamere, and I welcome you to my channel. I am doing my 326 presentation, and it will be on the Egyptian goddess Taweret. So we have this card. It says Genesis, and it comes from this lovely oracle that I got on Amazon. It's called The Egyptian Gods Oracles by Sylvana Alessia. And it's by Los Scarabeo Publishing. So some people may only know Taweret from the Marvel series Moon Knight. And they show her as this lovable, cute, and cuddly hippopotamus goddess of the Dua. Make no mistake, she wasn't this lovable, cute, and cuddly, and squishy goddess. Oh no. And as far as her being with the duet, well, that didn't come into much later writings when, with the Book of the Fayum, from the Greco-Roman period when it came into Egypt. So, as well as Taweret, she is three of the most ferocious animals of ancient Egypt that the Egyptians feared at that time. And they have a healthy dose of respect for. And that was the crocodile, the lion, and hippopotamus. And yes, hippopotamuses are pretty dangerous. And plus, she also she was bipedal here, and she had some human characteristic as well. So she was a composite deity. So here we see, she's featured as pregnant. And yes, she was featured pregnant in ancient Egypt. In fact, she was and is the protector of women and children, and especially those who are pregnant and giving birth or lactating women. So they featured like ivory wands and amulets in people's home. And initially, she was dangerous. She was ferocious. And she can even be malignant. And she was a goddess that was associated with the northern quadrangle or the northern sky. She was also referred to as or seen as Nebet Taket, which meant the goddess or mistress, the mistress of the horizon. She was also associated or represented by the circumpolar stars of Draco, and Ursa Minor. And this was thought to be a very potentially malignant, cold, dangerous, and dark, and which was both associated with a pep. And the snake that wanted to devour Ra and the bark of a million years, as well as Set. And she also represented like Set, where he was the dangerous part or the evil part of the night. She represented the same thing during the day, where she could be malignant, ferocious, terrorizing, or evil in quotations during the day. Now, Taweret means she who is great. And then eventually during the Old Kingdom, we see Taweret shift to something very protective, but still aggressive. So mess someone up. But she also became the mother, but like a dark mother, ferocious mother, like as we see with Baravi, as we see with Kali. Dark mothers like Chamunda. So we see her take on that form. And she has a form, like as we see with Sekhmet, of the ferocious one, the destroyer. Now, she also became, and then she was also described as the wet nurse or even as the mother of the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, the emperor of Egypt. And then she also becomes the deity, a household deity, helping the poor, the downtrodden, as well as the rich and the powerful. So we see that she comes as a protective force, warding off evil spirits and anything that meant to harm mother and child, too. So, and now we see her from like a form of ferocious form, like the ancient form of Bast and Sekhmet, to now more of goddess like the beautiful Eye of Ra, like Hathor. So Taweret actually becomes a goddess of fertility and also associated with the Nile and the inundation of the Nile. Now, Taweret guarded and protected the mountains of the west, which, of course, in the direction of the west in ancient Egypt, dealt with the underworld. So here she protects the and guarded the path of this of going towards the underworld. So there magic can be used and prayers can be said to help those who have passed on to go through this path that was frightening and horrible and scary and dangerous to get to the land of the dead, the other side. And amulets were used for her protection. Even during the reign of the blasphemous Akhenaten, the one that was seen as the guy who dismissed the gods and all the gods in favor of the Aten, the one god, the sun god. So he was seen as the radical, and he believed in the one god, but she still retained her power. She still retained her images in the homes of those who loved her. And she even stayed on jewelry. We talk about like headrests of the beds and different vessels and vases and vases and cosmetic applicators, that she still remained on that, even though it was the one God. So he was considered the radical, this Pharaoh, Akhenaten, who believed in the one God, could not get rid of her. He couldn't stamp her out. So during the birthing, you gotta be kidding me, of a child, a magical wand was used to ward off these evil, malicious spirits. I wonder what evil, malicious spirits, namely my cats, just knocked over. What did y'all do? Good thing I have a microphone attached to me so that I can go throughout the house when my cats start crap. Oh, I know, that's got to be Joker in the other room. So her name deals with she who is great, she who is powerful. So Moon Knight got her as the goddess dealing with the Duat. You gotta be kidding me. And that was from the film. Joker, you're a bad boy. He knocked things over on my Santa Muerte altar. So I had to go throughout the house and see what they did today. She also had a torch that she held, and she drove away malicious spirits or demons to consecrate and purify the atmosphere. And also the saw essay, which was an instrument for protection and sort of like a life preserver worn by travelers who, by sailors or travelers who went across the Nile River. She also holds a knife as not only for defense, but also a tool used by the midwives. Sometimes she was associated not only with that of Sobek, but also Bez, Set, or even that with dealing with a Pep or Apophis. She was also known as Mistress of Talismans. She was also a ferocious goddess of revenge and vengeance, so she could be used to get back at those who incurred her wrath. Said to be the midwife of the sun. She was also a sky deity, a sky spirit. So she was both feared, respected, and revered. Her importance in the official state religious cult was eventually diminished with time, yet she remained a popular folk goddess. So she pregnant women would wear her amulets, bearing Taroret's image, of course, for protection and defense, lest these evil spirits or curses get at them and cause them to miscarriage or to die during birth or both to die during childbirth, where both mother and child pass away from it. So vases were molded with Taweret shape and were filled with milk, and which the milk would pour out through her nipples of her breast. And this represented like the wet nurse or her nourishment. And it was also intended to help and guarantee con- conception, to help guarantee the successful childbirth or protection during the childbirth, and again, to protect mother and child. Taweret was the pit bull of the deity spirit world while being pregnant, heavily pregnant. And make no mistake, she is fierce. Do not think she's this little cute little cuddly teddy bear. She always remained this fierce goddess. And she is scary. She's meant to be scary. To be able to be efficient at scaring off the enemy spirits and these negative beings. Her manifestation, well, look, and she's here carrying the Ankh, which is a symbol of life. One day I should do a presentation on what the Ankh and its symbolism is. In fact, Lon Milo Duquette has a wonderful book about the Ankh. And it also comes with an Ankh. And it's a really good book if you want to learn more. But it's an interesting topic of the Ankh, in which, of course, Christianity takes over and says, it's theirs, it's theirs. But it wasn't. So she is a goddess that can bring birth, she can nurse, but she can also tear apart. She comes as again, she manifests as a pregnant bipedal hippopotamus, right? And sometimes the back of her is that of a crocodile with the crocodile tail, and her arms and legs are that of a lion. Sometimes she even has a crocodile slung over her shoulders. So, yeah, she doesn't play well with others. And she's definitely one you do not want to cross in a bad way. So, she's good to protect your family with. And she's also good to avenge your family with. So, those who hurt children, beware. This goddess won't play nice. She's not going to play by humanity's rules. She plays by her own rules. She's extremely ancient. But like I said, by the Old Kingdom, she was seen more protective than aggressive. So they had a way of sugaring her up a bit. Ah, spilled and go down right. I'm sorry. Now, she was pretty much popular in the homes, and she was a very popular house spirit and pretty much virtually worshipped in a lot of homes. I'm not going to say all homes, but it is said that she was worshipped in all homes. And she definitely dealt with protection. So she can be used to protect you, not just mother and children, but yes, she does deal a lot with mother and child. She was also one of her epithets is the Lady of Magical Protection, the Queen, the Lady of Heaven, or Queen, or one of the Queens of Heaven, Mistress of the Horizon, which Mistress of the Pure Water, which we're dealing with the Nile, Lady of the Birth House, the Great One. So, lady dealing with the horizon could be that of Rahor Kui. So, we're dealing with the Lord of the Two Horizons, dealing with Horus, dealing with Ra. She's also said to deal with one of her consorts, and she's also associated with Bez, as well as Set, Sobek. She also dealt with Horus, Ipet, Hedjit. She has associations with Aset, Isis, the Great Holy Mother, Hathor, Hethoret, Opet. It's a cool band, by the way, if you're into metal. Reret. Of course, as I said, Bez is a little dwarf god, trickster god. Oh, so what do we give a goddess such as this? Well, definitely she has a carnivorous side, but we definitely could give her beer. Bread is always a great offering to the Egyptian deities. And you could think of unleavened bread or leavened bread. She loves incense, milk, meat, fruits, water. Okay, this has got to stop. Every time I do a presentation, this stops. No, you're going to leave her alone. Get away from her. Seeds and nuts, dried fruit. Get away from her. Damn. You guys just go nuts every time I do a presentation. You guys always got to show your asses, don't you? Come on. Come on. Y'all can come up on the altar here. You can give her sweets. We love to give our deity sweets, don't we? Like candies, and we could give them fruit roll ups and those energy bars, cereal, especially the one like the fancy stuff with the fruits and nuts in it. So she's also been called like Reret is the sow, Ret is the sow. And when you look at the pet, it means harem. Hedjet is the Hedjet, the white one. And like I said, she who is great, or the great one. So she's powerful. She's really powerful, forceful. She's got a lot of, as they say in Hinduism, Shakti energy. Shakti, which is energy, also meaning goddess and power. So she's got a lot of force behind her. And definitely deals a lot with the Nile River, which was the difference between life and death, which can give life but can also cause flooding and destruction and the end of life, but also nourishing. So she is the goddess of home and home life, and she representing the nourishment of the child. She was the one that ensured that life would go on. But make no mistake, she represented the power of death. She represented, her symbolized was definitely a rejuvenation and rejuvenation abilities. Needed. What the hell? Thought I heard something. I don't know. She was also worshipped as, later on, a funerary goddess. But she also eventually has a role in rebirth. And then, yeah, dealing with the afterlife. So during the 4th century CE and going into the Ptolemaic and Roman periods, that was from 300 BCE to 390 CE. So she was even then worshipped by the people, tribes in Nubia, the Levant, and Crete. And the Levant were they eventually, accepted Christianity, dealing with the Levantian. So, not just by Egypt, she traveled outside. So, she was in Nubia, Levant, the Levant area, the Crete. Is she approachable? She's not to be trifled with. Basically, don't fuck around and find out. But definitely, I'm not telling you to stay away from her. I'm just saying she doesn't play well with others, but she's definitely is a good one to call if you're pregnant or if you're thinking about wanting to be a mother. She's more approachable by that way. She's more approachable to children, but not like being a dumbass teen and like, messing around to find out, yeah. So take some caution, definitely precautions with her. Remember, she is a composite of three of the most ferocious animals. And she's definitely represents the diurnal. This needs to stop, guys. The children, little children by Egyptians, again, were believed to be under the protection of this goddess. So she's also believed to possess a magical wand, even a knife that she was able to work her magic with. She was also able to renew the land and cause the crops to grow and to feed people and to bring in that money, money, money. Yeah, but she dealt with the crops and the life of the land. How long have we been going on? 31 minutes. This is a beautiful card. Look at the back. Isn't that beautiful, people? So, a Taweret can cause destruction, but also deals with creation, deals with life as well as the end of life. And remember, in the northern sky, a place of cold and rain, and a place of shadows and darkness. And in the new kingdom, the nobles were buried in the tombs with that were decorated with this goddess. So we see Hatshepsut's advisor, what's his name? Senenmut, and as well as Seti the First. Seti the First tomb was located in the Valley of the Kings, and paintings of this goddess were on the ceilings of this tomb. Oh, these cats. Okay, get away from her. Get away. You're a bad boy. Get away. Get away, Loki. You had no right doing that to her. Poor little boo. Lady Boss doesn't defend herself. She should. You're a bad boy. Come on. Come on, Loki. Come on. Come on. Come on, you bad boy. Yeah, I have a lot of patience. You gotta have patience with these crazy cats. Come on. Look what I got. Wee. Play. Do you want to play with that? So, Taweret is a force to be reckoned with. But I think people are becoming more familiar with that because there's a lot of Marvel fans. But they did make her kind of cute, didn't they? Jesus Christ. Get away from her. Bad boy. Get in here. Leave her alone. How could you? Poor little innocent little boo. So where was I? Taweret is sometimes confused with another goddess that I did a presentation on. And this is another hippopotamus goddess who is known as Amit. But these two are totally different and they are not the same deity. She is not Amit, and Amit is not Taweret. And some people think that Amit is an aspect of Taweret, and it's not true. These two deities are different and have much different functions. So if you're interested in Amit, please look at my channel and look at my name and look at the goddess Ammit, which is Amit. And Amit would devour wicked people in the afterlife. So so again, she is a goddess that you can pray to and do spells if you wish to become pregnant. And sometimes Set and even Horus took on the forms of hippopotami, or hippopotamus, well, two or more hippopotamuses, hippopotami. But Set would become a hippopotamus, Horus the younger, or Hor, H-O-R, or Haru, that he was later called, takes on the role of a hippopotamus. So, and remember, back then, childbirth was pretty risky. And of course, the Egyptians wanted children. You know, they desired children. So, of course, we see Taweret as very important. Why are you being a little shitball, Loki? You're not getting out of here. Come here. You want to get high? Let me get some catnip. Let's go get high. Here we go. Sorry, I'm being a little bit distracted. So I'll read a little bit from this card. Let's go read a little bit from this card. You don't want to get high? I don't want to lose my viewers now because I'm in danger of losing my viewers because of these cats. So, oh, 24. Oh, I went to, okay, I went to the wrong page. Taweret, Genesis. She is a great protectress of pregnant women and children who is vigilant even in her sleep. Goddess depicted with the features of a pregnant hippo with human breast standing on two legs with a crocodile's tail on her back. She's considered the mother of the sun and collaborates in his daily rebirth, as well as helping the deceased to be reborn to a new life. She symbolizes everything that leads to the generation of things and their appearance. You could start some new projects or have news on the way, the birth of something new, the arrival of a new life, or the beginning of a relationship in your life, both in the beginning phase and in the sense of a bond that is welded, such as marriage. And again, that comes from the Egyptian Gods Oracle cards by Sylvana Alasia. Hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. So, of course, Genesis means beginning of life, to generate. So she's even found in the pre-dynastic period of Egypt. So she was even carried out into the Ptolemaic kingdom and the Roman kingdom. The Roman period of, not the Roman kingdom, the Roman period in Egypt, Egyptian history. And I teach a little bit. I teach the way, and I teach the way I learn through repetition. So deal with it. So even in the outside of Egypt in the Middle Kingdom, she flourished. She had some contacts, but she still flourished within the Levantine. That's what I was thinking. Levantian or Levantine religions. And eventually, of course, Christianity spread like wildfire there. So I think that's good enough information about this goddess. I've been going on for 41 minutes and my cats are being chaotic and wild and crazy and kooky. So I really hope you enjoyed this presentation. You please like and subscribe to my channel as a way to pay me. I don't make a dime. I don't even have a Patreon. I know I'm probably losing some viewers right now, but please like and subscribe. And I have a neighbor that lost a dog, and I told him to go on to Lost Love as well as Paw Boost. So on it, Lost Love and Paw Boost, you can post for free. If you found someone's pet or lost a pet, it could be a snake or rabbit, someone's bird, cat, or dog. And it has done a lot of good. And you can donate to these services, but you can definitely post free and make an account. You'd have to make an account, but it will go through Facebook and everything else, and it has done well for people. So also, if you find someone's lost dog or cat, you can take it to call up a vet and take it to the vet, and and they should scan it for free. And if they find that this cat or dog has a microchip, they'll keep it, the pet, and call the owner, and the owner can be reunited. So those are the things that you can do good. Loki, stop trying to destroy the altars. Get down. Enough's enough. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, blessed be.